When an elephant dies, its herd mates often engage in unusual behaviors. They touch and caress the body with their trunks, stay near it for hours, attempt to lift it up, and sometimes even cover it with leaves and soil. And sometimes they return to the spot days or even weeks later, pausing in silence as if to pay their respects. Why do elephants mourn like this? Well, there are a few reasons. First, elephants live in tight-knit matriarchal families. So the loss of a member, especially a matriarch or calf, is a big deal. It's not just the loss of a family member, it's the loss of a friend. Second, elephants seem to understand that death is different from sleep or injury. They repeatedly visit bones and carcasses, suggesting that they understand that a life has ended. Third, elephants have large, complex brains with a lot of grey matter. This allows them to recognize and remember individuals and past experiences for decades. So, when a familiar elephant dies, they grieve. In short, elephant mourning suggests that they can experience grief-like states, not just instinctual reactions. It also suggests that their emotional capacity is more complex than we previously thought, and it hints that emotions like grief may be more widespread in the animal kingdom than we once believed. When an elephant dies, its fellow elephants do something remarkable. They gather around the body and caress it with their trunks, sometimes lifting it up or covering it with leaves and soil. They stay with the corpse for hours or even days, touching and stroking it gently. And sometimes they return to the spot weeks later, standing silently by the grave. Elephants are among the very few non-human animals that appear to mourn their dead. But why do they do this? To answer that question, scientists have observed wild African elephants in a national park in Kenya and a zoo in Thailand. They focused on two crucial moments: when elephants discovered a dead member of their herd, and the aftermath. One of the first things the elephants did was to touch the body with their trunk, according to Joyce Paul, an elephant researcher at the Impala Research Center in Kenya. An elephant's trunk is its primary tool for interacting with the world. So touching is a way for them to learn more about their surroundings, including the bodies of other elephants. In this case, the trunk is also used to communicate with others in the herd. By touching the dead elephant, living elephants can pass on information about the state of the body, such as its temperature and moisture levels, to the rest of the group. The second thing the elephants did was to stay close to the body for extended periods of time. In the wild, a dead elephant is a potential source of danger. It can attract predators such as hyenas, lions, and vultures, which can pose a threat to the remaining herd members. So spending time near the corpse could help the elephants assess the risks and decide how to respond. It can also allow them to confirm the permanence of the death, Paul said. Unlike humans, elephants don't typically bury their dead, and they don't always drag the body away from the rest of the herd. Instead, they sometimes stay with the corpse for days, touching and caressing it before eventually leaving it behind. But why would they spend so much time with a dead body? One possibility is that elephants mourn Mourning, defined as a response to the loss of a significant person or thing, is generally thought to require advanced cognitive abilities. However, recent studies have shown that some animals, including elephants, are capable of experiencing grief-like states. For example, in a study published in 2022, researchers found that elephants in zoos displayed abnormal behaviors after the death of another elephant in their enclosure. Specifically, they spent more time looking for the missing elephant, touching the empty space where it had been, and vocalizing more frequently. Mourning could also reflect the strength of the social bonds that elephants form with each other. Elephants are highly social animals who live in close-knit matriarchal families led by the oldest and most experienced female bees. These families consist of several generations of related females and their calves, and the bonds between them are strong. When a member of the herd dies, the remaining elephants may grieve the loss of their companion and the disruption of their social structure. This is supported by the fact that elephants are more likely to mourn the death of a calf or a matriarch than other members of the herd. A matriarch is the leader of the herd and provides guidance and protection to the other elephants. Calves, on the other hand, are dependent on the herd for their survival. So the death of either of these individuals can have a profound impact on the dynamics of the group. Another possibility is that elephants mourn because they recognize that death is permanent. Some researchers believe that elephants have a concept of mortality, which means they understand that death is irreversible. This is supported by the fact that elephants often return to the site where a dead elephant was found and stand silently there for hours. These revisits could be a way for the elephants to pay their respects to their dead companion or to confirm the reality of their death. Elephants have large, complex brains, particularly in regions tied to emotion and memory. They can recall individuals and past experiences for decades, which may explain why they react so strongly to the death of a familiar elephant. In short, when elephants mourn, they remind us that emotions are not solely human territory. Their grief underscores that many animals share with us the ability to love, to bond, and to feel loss in ways that blur the line between human and non-human experience. This video was made possible by a University Museum of Zoology. They're on a mission to make natural history come to life for learners of all ages. They offer online courses, in-person events, and traveling exhibits. And they've recently launched a new podcast called Once Upon a Time, which brings you stories of discovery from the museum's vast collection every month. Listen on your favorite podcast app.